Hi guys, in this video we will learn about passing parameters to C# methods by value and by reference. So passing a parameter to a method by value means passing a copy of the variable to the method. Any changes to the parameters that take place inside the method have no effect on the original data stored in the argument variable. Thus, in a pass by value method, the changes are not reflected back to the original data. We'll soon see an example of this. And then we have got this pass by reference. Passing a parameter to a method by reference means passing the original variable to the method. Any changes to the parameter that take place inside the method will be reflected in the original data stored in the argument variable. Thus, in a pass by reference method, the changes are reflected back to the original data. To pass a parameter by reference with the intent of changing the value, we use the ref keyword. So let's quickly see an example of both. So I've already created a console application and named it as passing by ref and value. As usual, I will delete this line of code and I need to define two methods, one for pass by value and other for pass by reference. So I wouldn't write anything in the main method. So if I just press enter twice, go to the new line and let me paste some code which I already wrote. As usual, I will put the code download link in the description of the video. We have got defined this static method and the return type is void and its name is square by value. So what it should do is it should square the value of its argument, which is specified as integer val parameter. So here is the computation. So val parameter star equal to val parameter. So we have used the shortened version. So we could have written val parameter equal to val parameter into val parameter, but we have used a shorthand version of the statement. Once we are inside the method, we are trying to write its value. So with a message inside method square by value, value is the val parameter. And similarly, let's define another method now where we again start with keyword static and void means it doesn't return any value, and this time we name it as square by ref. And the parameters, again it is of int type ref parameter. The parameter name could be anything, but we have named it as ref parameter, but we have prefixed it with a ref keyword. And as we are doing in the square by value method, we are just multiplying this variable by itself so that it gives us a squared value. And while we are inside the method, we will print its value so that we know when this variable was inside the method, this was its value, and same is true for the previous method we wrote. In the main method, let's write some invoke statements which use these methods. So as usual, I will copy paste some already written codes to save some typing time. So here what we have done is we have defined an integer type variable called argument, and put some comments in here. This is passing by value, and there's some comment that in this case the value of the argument in main should not be changing. So if we assign a value of 4 to the argument variable and we invoke this method square by value, which is our this method, and we then try to write the value of this argument variable again. So this argument we passed, to this method, and we want to see if it has done anything to the value of the variable. In this case, if I go back to the PowerPoint, we are passing the parameter by value. So in pass by value method, the changes are not reflected back to the original data. So that's why we have written a comment here. The value of the argument in main is not changed. So when we pass by reference, the value of the argument in main is changed. And in order to confirm that, again, we are assigning value 4 to the argument variable. And this time we call this method square by reference, and that's our method where we prefix it with the ref keyword. And in the calling as well, we prefix it with the ref keyword. Once we are back from calling, in the next statement, we print the value of this argument. And finally, we wait for the read key on the console. So let's quickly run this program and see what is output. So here is the output of this program. So the program started, argument variable was assigned a value 4, then it invoked this square by value method with value 4, and it computed its square value, and while inside the method, the value of the val parameter is 16. But when we return back to the main program, and if we try to print the value of the argument, it still is 4. So that's why this comment was made. The value of the argument in main is not changed. So if we see the next statement where we reassign argument value of 4 and call this square by ref method, which is here. Once it has computed the squared value, we print its value, and it says inside method square ref, the value is again 16. And when the control shifts back to the calling program or calling method, here if we reprint its value square by ref, this time its value is 16. So the value of argument is changed in main. Note that if we really wanted to use the computed value of square by value method, we would have used a return statement in it and assigned the value to a variable in the calling statement. But that wasn't the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video was to show you how we can pass parameters by value, which is in this case, and then by reference, so that you know the difference and understand how these parameters are treated, and to further ensure that you code right when you are writing your own programs. This was a short video about how parameters are passed by value and by reference. If you haven't done already, please do subscribe, share, and like the video. Thanks.